Please like and subscribe to the channel if you find this video interesting and useful. Give me more ideas you want me to make. Enjoy watching the video. The air inside the penthouse smelled of sterile cleanliness, raw iron, and the faint, lingering scent of deep heat rub. It was 2:45 a.m. in Los Angeles, a time when the city slept, but Logan Iron Jaw Mercer did not sleep. He vibrated. Logan stood before a floor-to-ceiling mirror, his reflection showcasing the physique of a man carved from granite by a sculptor who was angry at the stone. He was 32 years old, the five-time world MMA heavyweight champion, and a man who possessed a right hook that registered on the Richter scale. The media called him Thor without the hammer, though Logan preferred his own nickname, the Silencer. Not because he silenced opponents, though he did, usually within the first round, but because he desperately, passionately loved silence. He hated noise. He hated the flashbulbs of paparazzi. But most of all, he possessed a phobia that no sports journalist knew about. Logan Mercer was terrified of children. Their sticky hands, their piercing screams, their unpredictable movements, it was all too much for a man who calculated every strike with mathematical precision. "Focus, Logan," he muttered to himself. His voice was a low rumble, like a luxury car idling in a garage. He picked up his phone. A notification from FacePunch, the world's leading combat sports social media app, flashed on the screen. It was a live stream notification from Tyler Dawson. Logan grit his teeth. Tyler was everything Logan despised. 22 years old, bleached blonde hair, teeth so white they were a traffic hazard, and an ego that required its own zip code. Tyler was the #1 contender, the TikTok fighter who spent more time choreographing dance moves than sparring. Logan tapped the screen. Tyler's face filled the frame, shouting into the camera from a nightclub VIP section. "Yo, what is up, Dawson Army? Just checking in. You know who isn't here? Grandpa Logan." Tyler laughed, flexed a bicep that looked impressive to the untrained eye but lacked functional density, and winked. "I heard Iron Jaw is at home drinking prune juice. Hey Logan, if you're watching, sign the contract for the Cage of Death match. Or are you scared I'll mess up that perfect record?" Logan crushed the empty plastic water bottle in his hand. It exploded with a sharp crack that echoed through the empty penthouse. "Scared?" Logan whispered, his eye twitching. "I've fought men who chew barbed wire for breakfast. You chew bubblegum." But the anger brought something else, hunger. A deep, gnawing, caloric deficit hunger. His nutritionist, a woman named Clara who was more terrified of carbs than death, had him on a strict diet of boiled chicken and sadness. "I need a gummy bear," Logan admitted to the empty room. "Just one bag. Maybe a questionable hot dog." He grabbed a black, oversized hoodie, pulled it low over his eyes, and slid on a pair of dark sunglasses. It was 3 a.m. The perfect time to be invisible. Across town, the vibe was less luxury fortress and more fluorescent depression. Grayson's 24/7 Mart was a small, cramped convenience store nestled on a street corner that smelled faintly of exhaust fumes and old frying oil. Inside, the hum of the refrigeration units was a constant, droning headache. Emily Hart sat behind the counter, her chin resting on a palm that smelled of sanitizer. She was 24, wearing a polyester uniform that was 2 sizes too big, with a name tag that read "Hello. I'm Emily." Upside down. "Welcome to the stream, guys," Emily whispered into her phone, which was propped up against a display of chewing gum. "Today is day 400 of working the graveyard shift while my soul slowly leaves my body." She looked at the viewer count. 3. One was a bot, one was her mom, who was asleep, and one was a user named Spicy Taco 99. Spicy Taco asks, "When are you going to review the nuclear nachos?" Emily read the chat, sighing. "I can't, Taco. My boss, Mr. Grayson, counted the nacho cheese bags before he left. If I eat one, he deducts it from my paycheck. Last week he charged me for breathing too much air conditioning." Emily's only companion in the store was Pickles, a ginger tabby cat so obese, he looked less like a feline and more like a furry beach ball with legs. Pickles was currently asleep on top of the frozen ice cream freezer, his tail twitching in a dream involving infinite tuna. The automatic door chimed, a broken, distorted electronic sound that sounded like a dying bird. Ding-dong KRRT. We're open, unfortunately, Emily called out without looking up. A man walked in. He was massive. Even with the hoodie pulled down, his shoulders were so broad he had to turn slightly sideways to clear the anti-theft sensors. He moved with a terrifying grace, silent and heavy. Emily squinted. Sir, you can't wear sunglasses inside. It makes you look like you're about to rob us, or you have a really bad eye infection. The man stopped. He turned his head slowly toward her. The sunglasses didn't move. I am browsing, the voice grumbled. It sounded like gravel tumbling down a canyon. Okay, browser. Don't browse too hard. You might break the molecules in the air, Emily muttered, returning to her stream. Guys, we have a mystery guest. He looks like a refrigerator wearing a hoodie. While Logan prowled the aisles, hunting for the forbidden gummy bears, the backroom door burst open. Mr. Grayson marched out. He was a thin, wiry man with a mustache that looked like it was drawn on with a Sharpie. He was holding a calculator and looking furious. Emily, why is the energy bill up by 0.4%? Grayson barked. Did you turn on the extra light in the bathroom? I told you, customers can pee in the dark, it builds character. It's not the bathroom, Mr. Grayson, Emily replied, rolling her eyes. It's her. She pointed to the corner of the store. In the corner, surrounded by tangled wires, copper coils, and blinking LED lights, stood a machine that looked like a slot machine designed by an alien. It was the Quantum Fortune 3000. Kneeling next to it, wielding a soldering iron, was Dr. Roxy Vale. Her hair was a chaotic explosion of white curls, her lab coat was stained with coffee and motor oil, and she wore welding goggles on her forehead. Eureka! Or, almost Eureka! Roxy shouted, sparks flying from the machine. Mr. Grayson, the quantum stabilizers are consuming a bit more power because the atmospheric pressure is dropping. There's a storm coming. A big one. Charged particles everywhere. I don't care about particles unless they pay for a lottery ticket. Grayson snapped. You said this machine would bring in customers. So far, it only brings in electricity bills. Fix it, or I'm turning it into a slushy machine. Roxy stood up, wiping grease on her cheek. This is not a toy. It utilizes quantum entanglement to determine the probability of winning a free soda. It's revolutionary science. It's a fancy slot machine, Roxy, Emily deadpanned. And it shocks people. Old Mrs. Higgins touched it yesterday and her perm straightened out. Logan reached the counter. He placed a bag of neon gummy bears and a bottle of water on the surface. He kept his head down, trying to be invisible. That'll be $5, Emily said, popping her gum. She looked at him closely. Hey, you have a really intense chin. Like, you could crack walnuts on it. Logan stiffened. Just the water and the bears. Keep the change. He threw a $20 bill on the counter and turned to leave. Wait, Emily called out. Company policy. Mr. Grayson makes everyone who spends over $10 try the new machine. No, Logan growled. Please, Emily whispered, leaning forward. If you don't, he yells at me for an hour about missed revenue opportunities. Just press the button. It doesn't even work half the time. Logan looked at Emily. He saw the exhaustion in her eyes. Despite his icy exterior, Logan had a code of honor. He didn't bully the weak. And this girl looked like she was losing a fight against life itself. One spin, Logan said. He walked over to the Quantum Fortune 3000. Dr. Roxy Vale stepped back, looking at her Geiger counter nervously. Wait, the readings are spiking. The storm outside. Boom. Thunder shook the building. The lights in the store flickered. The neon sign outside buzzed angrily. Hurry up, big guy, Tyler Dawson's voice echoed in Logan's head. Grandpa Logan. Logan reached out a massive, taped hand toward the big red button labeled spin. At the same moment, Emily leaned over the counter. Wait. You have to hold the receipt while you spin it. It's the rules. She rushed over, grabbing his other hand to shove the receipt into it. I don't need the receipt. Logan snapped. Take the paper, Emily insisted. They struggled for a fraction of a second. Logan's hand was on the button. Emily's hand was on Logan's hand. Dr. Roxy Vale's eyes widened behind her goggles. Wait. The polarity. Don't touch the... Outside, a bolt of lightning, purple and jagged, tore through the sky. It struck the large metal antenna on the roof of Grayson's Mart. The electricity surged down the cables, bypassing the fuse box and funneled directly into the Quantum Fortune 3000. The machine screamed. Not a mechanical whir, but a high-pitched digital scream. Get down! Logan roared, his instincts kicking in. He tried to push Emily away, but the magnetic field had already locked them together. Currents of blue and violet energy erupted from the spin button. It crawled up Logan's arm like living vines and leaped onto Emily. Oh my God, it tickles. Emily shrieked. It's not tickling, it's quantum displacement. Roxy yelled, diving behind a rack of potato chips. The world turned white. Logan felt a sensation he had never experienced in the octagon. It wasn't pain. It was sliding, like being sucked through a straw. He felt his mass, his muscle, his sheer density evaporating. He felt his center of gravity shift upwards. He felt lighter. Emily felt the opposite. She felt heavy. An immense weight crushed down on her chest, her arms, her legs. She felt like she had suddenly turned into a tank made of meat. The light exploded outward, blowing out the store windows and sending bags of chips flying like confetti. Pickles the cat hissed and backflipped off the freezer. Then silence. Smoke curled up from the Quantum Fortune machine, which was now charred black. The lights in the store were dead, save for the emergency exit sign casting an eerie red glow. Two figures lay on the linoleum floor. The massive figure of Logan Mercer groaned. He pushed himself up. But the movement was clumsy, uncoordinated. He shook his head, his blonde hair falling over his eyes. Wait. Blonde hair? Logan had a buzz cut. The smaller figure of Emily Hart lay near the candy aisle. He blinked rapidly. My head. The voice that came out of the massive body was deep, resonant, and powerful. But the intonation was wrong. It was panicked. Why does my voice sound like I ate a subwoofer? The massive figure, Logan's body, looked down at its hands. They were huge. Like baseball mitts. The knuckles were scarred and calloused. You! The deep voice screamed. Why are my hands so veiny? And why am I wearing a hoodie that smells like sheer testosterone? Across the aisle, the smaller figure, Emily's body, sat up. The movements were sharp, tactical. The eyes narrowed, scanning the perimeter for threats. Status report, the small voice said. It was high, soft, and feminine. The person inside Emily's body froze. He reached up to touch his throat. Smooth skin. No stubble. He looked down. A name tag. Hello. I'm Emily. He looked further down. The tactical cargo pants were gone, replaced by the polyester uniform trousers that were too tight in the wrong places. Logan, in Emily's body, looked at his hands. They were slender, pale, with chipped nail polish. No, Logan whispered. His voice was a squeak. No, no, no. Emily, in Logan's body, scrambled to her feet. She stumbled immediately, not used to being 6'4" and 250 pounds of pure muscle. She crashed into a display of energy drinks, crushing 3 cans simply by gripping the shelf too hard. I broke the Red Bulls, she yelled, her voice booming like a cannon shot. She slapped a hand over her mouth. Oh my God. I'm huge. I'm the refrigerator guy. She looked in the reflection of the freezer door. A square jaw. Intense eyes. A neck thick enough to stop a bullet. I'm hot. Emily screamed, flexing a bicep experimentally. The shirt sleeve ripped. I'm a Greek god. Across the room, Logan, in Emily's body, stood up. He felt weak. Fragile. He tried to adopt a fighting stance, but the center of gravity was all wrong. He felt exposed. You. Logan pointed a slender finger at his own body. What have you done? Me? Emily, as Logan, laughed, a deep, throaty sound that vibrated in her chest. I didn't do anything. We touched the button and wait. She looked at Logan. Are you, me? I am Logan Mercer, the small girl said with the icy seriousness of a serial killer. And I demand you vacate my chassis immediately. Your chassis. Emily poked her own pec. It was hard as a rock. Dude, I don't know how to drive this thing. I just flexed my glutes and I think I cracked the floor tile. Just then, the sound of sirens wailed in the distance. Police, Logan, and Emily said, his tactical mind racing. We cannot be found like this. The media. My reputation. Your reputation? Emily panicked, flailing Logan's giant arms. My boss. Mr. Grayson is going to kill me for blowing up the machine. Suddenly, from the shadows of the aisle, a low growl emerged. Pickles the cat stepped out. He looked at Logan, his former owner, and hissed. Then he looked at the giant stranger, Emily, and purred, rubbing against Logan's massive shins. Pickles, you traitor. Logan, in Emily, shouted. Ah, Kitty likes the muscles, Emily cooed, bending down to pet the cat, but misjudging her strength and accidentally petting the cat so hard Pickles slid across the floor like a hockey puck. Mru. Sorry, Emily yelled. Dr. Roxy Vale popped up from behind the chips, her hair smoking. Fascinating, she whispered, pulling out a tape recorder. Subject A and Subject B appear to have undergone a quantum consciousness translocation. Or, in layman's terms, the Freaky Friday Protocol. Logan, in Emily, marched over to Roxy, grabbed her lab coat, struggling with the lack of grip strength, and pulled her down to eye level. Fix this. Now. The little girl's face was terrifyingly intense. I can't, Roxy squeaked. The machine is fried. It needs a new quantum core, and those take weeks to synthesize. Weeks. Emily and Logan shouted in unison. Logan's voice cracked high. Emily's voice boomed low. They looked at each other. The horror set in. I have a title defense in 2 weeks, Logan whispered in horror. I have a shift tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., Emily gasped. And I haven't restocked the slushy cups. Logan Mercer's internal clock woke him up at exactly 4:30 a.m. It was a habit forged in iron and discipline. In his mind, he prepared to swing his legs out of his king-sized, temperature-controlled bed, place his feet on the heated marble floor, and begin his breathing exercises. Instead, his hand hit something soft, crinkly, and smelling of cheese powder. Logan opened his eyes. He was not in his penthouse. He was buried under a mountain of cheap, synthetic blankets printed with cartoon avocados. The air did not smell of filtered ozone. It smelled of stale laundry, lavender air freshener, and cat litter. What in the? He tried to sit up. His body felt wrong. It was light. Too light. It felt like he was piloting a paper airplane instead of a fighter jet. He pushed the covers off and gasped. He was wearing an oversized t-shirt that read, I speak fluent sarcasm. Beneath it, he saw legs. Pale, slender, soft legs. No scars. No muscle definition. Just knees. No, Logan whispered. The voice was high and breathy. This is a hallucination. A concussion dream. I took a bad hit in sparring. He looked around the room. It was a chaotic explosion of colors. Posters of K-pop bands covered the walls. Logan didn't know what K-pop was, but he knew he hated it. A desk in the corner was piled high with empty ramen cups, makeup palettes, and a ring light for streaming. Suddenly, a weight landed on his chest. Mro? Logan looked down. Pickles, the obese ginger cat, was sitting on his sternum, staring at him with unblinking yellow eyes. Get off me, beast, Logan growled, trying to summon his alpha voice. But without the bass of his vocal cords, the command sounded like a petulant child asking for juice. Pickles narrowed his eyes. Animals have a sixth sense. They know when something isn't right. This human smelled like Emily, shampoo and Cheetos, but the aura was wrong. The aura was aggressive. Threatening. Pickles hissed, ears flattened, and swiped a claw across Logan's nose. Arg! Logan yelled, instinctively rolling out of bed to perform a tactical retreat. But his body didn't roll. It flopped. He tangled his feet in the avocado sheets and face-planted onto a fuzzy pink rug. He scrambled up, adrenaline spiking, but it was a weak, sugary spike, not the testosterone surge he was used to. He ran to the full-length mirror on the closet door. He stopped. Staring back at him was a girl with messy brown hair, terrifyingly large eyes, and a scratch on her nose. She looked tired. She looked soft. She looked like she struggled to open pickle jars. Logan touched the face in the mirror. The girl in the mirror touched her face. I'm the clerk, Logan realized, his horror mounting. I'm the hot dog girl. He looked at his arms. He flexed. Nothing happened. A small bump appeared, barely larger than a mosquito bite. Where are my gains? Logan screamed. It was a primal shriek of loss. Where is my tricep definition? Bam, bam, bam. Someone pounded on the thin wall next to the bed. Shut up in there, a screechy voice yelled through the plaster. It was Mrs. Higgins, the neighbor. Some of us are trying to die of old age in peace. Is someone being murdered? Do I need to call the cops again? Logan, forgetting who he was, shouted back with the authority of a world champion. Do not interfere, civilian. I am assessing the situation. That's it. Mrs. Higgins yelled. I'm calling 911. I know you're on drugs, Emily. Logan slumped against the closet door, sliding down until he hit the floor. He looked at his hands, small, delicate hands. I have a title fight in 14 days, he whispered to the cat. And I currently possess the upper body strength of a wet noodle. Across the city, the sun was beginning to rise over the sleek glass structures of downtown Los Angeles. In the master bedroom of the Mercer penthouse, Emily Hart was dreaming. She was dreaming that she was floating on a cloud made of marshmallows, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was carrying her to safety. She woke up. Thanks, Rock, she mumbled, nuzzling into the pillow. The pillow was firm. Extremely firm. Memory foam designed for neck support, not comfort. She opened her eyes and stared at a ceiling that was roughly 20 feet high. Whoa, she said. Her voice rumbled through the room like distant thunder. She clamped her hands over her mouth. Did I just burp a word? She sat up. The duvet cover slid off a chest that was as wide as a Honda Civic. She looked down. The scream was deafening. It wasn't a girl's scream. It was a roar. It sounded like a bear had stepped on a Lego. Emily scrambled backward, crab-walking across the gigantic bed. She looked at her legs. They were covered in hair. Thick, tree-trunk legs. She looked at her arms. They were roadmaps of veins and muscles. I'm a monster, she wailed, grabbing her face. She felt stubble. Rough, sandpaper stubble. I have a beard. I'm a bearded lady. No, I'm a bearded man. She jumped out of bed. But she miscalculated the power in her legs. Instead of a gentle hop, she launched herself 3 feet into the air and landed with a massive thud that shook the floor-to-ceiling windows. Okay, calm down, Em, she told herself, hyperventilating. You touched the magic spinny machine. You got zapped. Now you're him. The scary guy. Iron Jaw. The door to the bedroom slid open with a pneumatic hiss. Enter Clara. Clara was Logan's personal assistant, nutritionist, and schedule keeper. She was a woman of indeterminate age, wearing a sharp gray suit, holding a tablet like a weapon. She didn't look surprised to see a naked giant hyperventilating in the middle of the room. Good morning, Mr. Mercer, Clara said, her voice void of emotion. You are awake 2 minutes late. We are behind schedule. Emily grabbed a sheet to cover herself. Hi. Who are you? Clara didn't blink. Very funny, sir. I see we are in a mood today. Perhaps the concussion from sparring is lingering. I have your pre-workout activation ready. Clara snapped her fingers. A young male intern ran in, trembling, holding a glass filled with a thick, greenish-brown sludge. Drink, Clara commanded. Emily looked at the glass. It smelled like a fish market had exploded inside a lawnmower. What is that? Raw quail eggs, blended kale, cod liver oil, and spicy elk blood, Clara recited. Your Tuesday special. Drink. You have running intervals in 6 minutes. Elk blood. Emily gagged. Can I just have a latte? Maybe a caramel macchiato with oat milk. Clara stared at her. The intern stared at her. Sir, Clara said slowly, if you consume sugar, your inflammation markers will rise by 0.03%. You fired the last chef for putting a crouton in your salad. Drink the sludge. Emily looked at Clara's terrifying face. She looked at the intern's fearful eyes. She realized she was in the body of a man everyone feared. She had to play the part. Right. The sludge. Yum. Emily closed her eyes, pinched her nose, which felt like pinching a rock, and down the glass. It tasted like violence. Blarg. Emily coughed, pounding her chest. The sound echoed like a war drum. That was refreshing. Good, Clara said. Jim. Now. 5 minutes later, Emily found herself in Logan's private gym. It was better equipped than most commercial fitness centers. Intervals, Clara barked. Incline 15. Speed 12. Go. She pointed to a treadmill that looked like it cost more than Emily's entire life earnings. Okay, walking. I can do walking, Emily muttered. She stepped onto the machine. Clara pressed a button. The machine didn't start slowly. It roared to life instantly. Whoa, Emily yelled. Logan's legs were conditioned to run. They moved instinctively. But Emily's brain didn't know how to coordinate them. She was like a toddler driving a Ferrari. Thump, 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 thump. Too fast. Too fast. Emily screamed, her giant arms flailing. Where's the stop button? Don't stop. Push through the pain. Clara shouted, checking her stopwatch. Heart rate is only 110. Are you sleeping, Logan? Push. Emily tried to grab the handrails, but her grip was too strong. She ripped the rubber casing right off the metal handle. Distracted by the destruction, her feet lost the rhythm. Zoop! Emily was shot off the back of the treadmill. She flew through the air, a 250-pound projectile, and crashed into a rack of medicine balls. The balls scattered everywhere, bouncing around the room like chaotic atoms. I'm okay. Emily groaned from the floor, surrounded by heavy leather balls. I think I pulled everything. Clara sighed, tapping her tablet. Clumsiness noted. Neurology appointment scheduled for 2 p.m. Now, get up. It's time for the ice bath. The what now? Emily whimpered. Back at the apartment, the situation was deteriorating. Logan, in Emily, had managed to put on a pair of sweatpants, though he found the material offensively thin. He was pacing the room, trying to formulate a tactical plan to reverse the quantum entanglement, when a heavy knock rattled the door. Police. Open up. Logan froze. Police. Law enforcement. In his own body, he respected the police. They often asked for selfies. But in this body, he was a nobody. A suspect. Calm down, Logan whispered to himself. De-escalate. Comply. He opened the door. 2 officers stood there. One was a burly, older man with a mustache, Officer Higgins. The other was younger, leaner, with a mischievous glint in his eye, Deputy Miller. Morning, ma'am, Miller said, leaning against the doorframe. We got a call about a woman screaming about muscle definition and a cat being thrown. Logan stood up straight, spine rigid, chin up. Officers. There is no emergency. I was merely conducting a vocal stress test. Miller raised an eyebrow. A vocal stress test? At 6 a.m.? Mrs. Gable next door thinks you're on the bath salts. Negative, Logan said crisply. I possess 0 narcotics. You are free to sweep the perimeter. The older officer squinted. You talk funny, kid. You usually talk a mile a minute about video games or whatever. I am evolving, Logan stated. Miller stepped inside, looking around. Nice place. Very. Pink. Hey, is that a limited edition Nico-chan statue? He pointed to a figure on the shelf. Logan didn't know what that was. He needed them to leave. Officers, if there are no charges, I must ask you to depart. I have a... He remembered Emily's life. I have a shift at the nutrition distribution center. The convenience store. Miller laughed. All right, Emily. Just keep the screaming down. And maybe feed the cat. He looks like he's plotting arson. As Miller turned to leave, he accidentally brushed against Logan's shoulder. It was pure muscle memory. Reflex. In a split second, Logan reacted to the unexpected contact. He grabbed Miller's wrist, stepped in, and executed a perfect Osoto Gari Judo throw entry. Whoa! Miller yelped as he was spun around. But Logan forgot he was in a 110-pound body. He didn't have the mass to complete the throw. Instead of slamming Miller to the ground, Logan just sort of swung on Miller's arm like a monkey on a tree branch. They stood there, frozen. Logan hanging off Miller's arm. Miller looking confused. Miller looked down at her. Are you trying to dance with me? Or mug me? Logan quickly let go, dusting off his shirt. I tripped. It was a stumble. A clumsy, girly stumble. Miller chuckled, adjusting his belt. Right. You got a grip like a baby squirrel. Take it easy, Emily. The cops left. Logan slammed the door and leaned his head against it. That was close, he exhaled. I almost assaulted an officer. I need to get my body back before I go to prison in a pink jumpsuit. Emily, in Logan, was sitting at the marble kitchen island, shivering wrapped in 3 towels. She had survived the ice bath by screaming, "Why is the water angry?" for 3 minutes, and now she was eating sawdust? No, it was dry oatmeal. Her phone, Logan's phone, buzzed. It was a notification from Facepunch. Tyler Dawson is live. Curiosity got the better of her. She tapped the screen. She propped the phone up against a bowl of organic almonds. Tyler's face appeared. He was in a gym, shirtless, hitting pads. Boom. That's speed, baby. Tyler yelled at the camera. You see that? That's what I'm bringing to the cage. Logan Mercer is old news. I heard a rumor he's actually afraid to fight me. I heard he's sitting in his ivory tower, crying to his mommy. Emily chewed the dry oatmeal. She felt a strange sensation rising in her chest. Usually, Emily Hart was non-confrontational. She let customers yell at her. She let Mr. Grayson steal her tips. She was passive. But this body, Logan's body, it reacted differently to insults. It was flooded with testosterone. It was wired for aggression. The anger wasn't an emotion, it was a physical reaction. Her heart rate spiked. Her fists clenched automatically. Look at me, Tyler continued, bringing his face close to the lens. I'm the future. Logan is a relic. I bet he wears diapers. Come on, Iron Jaw. Say something. Or are you too busy knitting? Knitting? Emily growled. The voice was deep and terrifying. She didn't mean to do it. The anger just took over. She slammed her fist down on the marble counter. Crack. The slab of Italian marble cracked down the middle. The bowl of almonds exploded into the air. Clara rushed in from the next room. What was that sound? Did you drop a dumbbell? She stopped. She saw the broken counter. She saw Logan, Emily, standing there, breathing heavily, eyes wide with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. He called me a relic, Emily said, her voice trembling with rage she didn't understand. He said I knit. Clara looked at the broken stone. A slow, terrifying smile spread across her face. Finally, Clara whispered, "The fire is back." Good. Channel that. We have sparring at 4 p.m. Sparring? Emily asked, the anger instantly replaced by panic. Like, fighting people? Yes, Clara said. And today, we brought in the gorilla. Both Logan and Emily stared at their reflections in their respective mirrors miles apart. Logan, in a cramped apartment, looked at his small hands. I have to survive the convenience store. I have to survive the public without killing anyone. Emily, in a penthouse, looked at her massive fists. I have to survive the octagon. I have to survive being punched in the face without crying. The phone in Emily's pocket rang. It was Mr. Grayson. Logan picked it up. Speak. Emily. You're 3 minutes late. Grayson screamed. If you're not here in 5 minutes, I'm docking your pay for the next decade. And don't forget to clean the slushy machine filters, they smell like feet. Logan hung up. He looked at the cat. Pickles, Logan said solemnly. I am going into battle. Guard the perimeter. Pickles licked his butt, unimpressed. Logan grabbed Emily's purse, felt the pathetic weight of it, and marched out the door. He didn't know how to be a girl. But he knew how to be a champion. He would be the best damn convenience store clerk the world had ever seen. Even if he had to break a few fingers to do it. At 5:55 a.m., a taxi screeched to a halt in front of Grayson's 24/7 Mart. The door opened and Logan Mercer, occupying the petite, 5'4" frame of Emily Hart, stepped out onto the sidewalk. He adjusted the collar of the red polyester polo shirt. It was itchy. It was tight in the shoulders, even though Emily had no shoulders to speak of, and loose at the waist. He looked at the store. The neon sign buzzed with a dying flicker, * Grayson's M.R. star. The and T had burned out long ago. Target acquired, Logan muttered to himself. Mission: survive an 8-hour shift. Minimize casualties. Maintain cover. He walked toward the automatic doors. They slid open with that familiar, agonizing grind. He stepped inside. The smell hit him first. It wasn't the smell of sweat and iron he loved. It was a complex bouquet of burnt coffee, industrial floor cleaner, and rolling hot dogs that had been spinning since the Nixon administration. Hart, a voice barked from the back. Mr. Grayson materialized from the office, holding a clipboard like a shield. He looked at Logan, Emily, with his usual disdain, checking his watch. You are 30 seconds early, Grayson said, narrowing his eyes. Suspicious. What do you want? A raise? Because the answer is no. In fact, I'm deducting $5 for the electricity used to open the door just now. Logan stood at attention. Feet shoulder-width apart, hands clasped behind his back. He stared directly into Grayson's eyes with an intensity that usually made heavyweight fighters flinch. Good morning, sir, Logan said. His voice was Emily's soft soprano, but the delivery was pure steel. I am ready for duty. What are the tactical objectives for today? Grayson blinked. He took a step back. Usually, Emily slouched, yawned, and complained about her cat's vet bills. Tactical objectives? Grayson sputtered. Sell stuff? Don't let the teenagers steal the beef jerky? And fix the slushy machine. It's leaking blue raspberry all over aisle 3. Understood, Logan said. Blue raspberry containment is priority 1. He pivoted on his heel with military precision, nearly tripping over his own small feet, and marched behind the counter. Grayson watched him go, scratching his mustache. Did she change her medication? Or did she finally join a cult? I like it. Cult members work harder. Logan stood behind the counter. This was his cockpit. He surveyed the equipment. A scanner gun. A receipt printer. And the enemy, the cash register. It was an ancient touchscreen computer running Windows XP. It was covered in sticky fingerprints. All right, machine, Logan whispered. Let's dance. A customer approached. It was a construction worker buying a pack of gum and a large coffee. Just these, the man grunted, slamming the items down. Logan nodded. Affirmative. He picked up the scanner gun. He aimed it at the gum like a pistol. Beep. Successful. He looked at the screen. It flashed a pop-up. Loyalty member? Yes/no. Logan tapped NO with his index finger. Nothing happened. He tapped harder. Nothing. Come on, Logan growled. He used the tip of his finger, applying the same precise pressure he used to find pressure points on a grappling dummy. The screen remained unresponsive. Hey, lady, I'm in a rush, the construction worker said. Patience, civilian, Logan snapped, not looking up. The interface is resisting. Logan felt the frustration rising. In the ring, if something resisted, you applied force. Physics was simple. Force equals mass times acceleration. He drew his hand back and jabbed the screen. A quick, sharp strike. Crack. The sound was sickening. A spiderweb fracture exploded across the LCD screen. The image of the loyalty program distorted, flickered, and died. The cash drawer popped open with a violent ding and shot out, hitting Logan in the stomach. Oof. Logan grunted, doubling over. What the hell? The construction worker yelled. You just punched the computer. Mr. Grayson came running out of the office. What was that noise? Did a shelf fall? He saw the shattered screen. He saw Logan standing there, holding his stomach, looking calm but deadly. Emily. Grayson shrieked. My PS system. That costs. Well, I bought it used for $50, but to replace it is priceless. What did you do? Logan straightened up. The machine was non-compliant. I applied percussive maintenance. It failed the structural integrity test. Grayson's jaw dropped. You punched it. It was a light tap, Logan lied. Clearly, the equipment is substandard. I recommend an upgrade to a tactical interface. Grayson turned purple. You're paying for that. Out of your tips. Wait, you don't get tips. Out of your soul. By 8 a.m., the morning rush had begun. The broken register was swapped out for an old calculator and a metal lockbox, slowing everything down. The line stretched back to the frozen pizzas. People were getting impatient. They were groaning, checking phones, and tapping feet. The noise level was rising. Logan hated noise. His eye began to twitch. Hey, hurry it up, a guy in a suit yelled from the back. Some of us have jobs. Logan looked up. He didn't see customers. He saw a chaotic mob. A riot in the making. He needed to establish dominance. He climbed onto the counter. He stood on top of the cigarette display case, Emily's small feet fitting perfectly, towering over the crowd. Attention! Logan bellowed. The store went silent. The voice coming out of the small girl was shockingly loud. It projected from the diaphragm, cutting through the air like a knife. Disorder will not be tolerated, Logan announced, pacing back and forth on the counter. You will form a single file line. Prepare your payment methods in advance. Cash in hand, cards ready. If you do not have your payment ready when you reach the objective, you will be sent to the back of the queue. Do I make myself clear? The customers stared, stunned. I said. Logan leaned forward, his eyes blazing. Do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am, the guy in the suit stammered. Good, Logan hopped down. Proceed. The line moved faster than it ever had in the history of Grayson's Mart. People were terrified. They threw money at him and ran. Mr. Grayson watched from the security monitors in the back, eating popcorn. My God, he whispered. She's a dictator. I love it. Productivity is up 200%. At 10 a.m., the final boss arrived. The automatic doors opened, and Brenda walked in. Brenda was a local legend. She was a woman of significant carriage, wearing leopard print leggings and sunglasses indoors. She had a haircut that defied gravity and logic, the classic, "Can I speak to the manager, Bob?" but sharpened to a lethal point. She marched to the counter, bypassing the line entirely. She slammed a half-eaten hot dog onto the counter. This, Brenda announced, pointing a manicured finger at the sad sausage, is cold. Logan looked at the hot dog. He looked at Brenda. It is a hot dog, ma'am, Logan stated. It is composed of processed meat byproducts. Temperature variance is expected. Don't get smart with me, little girl, Brenda snapped. I bit into it, and it was lukewarm. I want a refund. And I want a fresh one for free. And I want a lottery ticket for my emotional distress. Logan analyzed the threat. Subject, Brenda. Height, 5 feet 7 inches. Weight, heavyweight class. Aggression level, high. Weaponry, fake nails, high-pitched voice, purse-swinging capability. Negative, Logan said calmly. You have consumed 50% of the product. The refund policy states that consumption beyond 20% constitutes acceptance of the goods. Your request is denied. The store went quiet. The other customers gasped. Nobody said no to Brenda. Brenda took off her sunglasses slowly. Her eyes were wide with rage. Excuse me? Do you know who I am? I come here every day. Then you should know the rules, Logan said, crossing his arms. Step aside. You are blocking the supply line. I'm not moving until I get my dollar back. Brenda screamed. She reached across the counter and grabbed Logan, Emily, by the collar of the polo shirt. Big mistake. The action, the takedown. Touching a fighter is a trigger. Touching Logan Mercer is a death wish. Even in Emily's body, the neural pathways for close-quarter combat, CQC, lit up like a Christmas tree. Time slowed down for Logan. He saw Brenda's hand gripping the fabric. He saw Brenda's other hand raising her heavy leather purse for a strike. He saw Brenda's center of gravity leaning forward over the counter. Analysis. Opponent is off balance. Right arm extended. Left flank exposed. Physical contact initiated, Logan said calmly. Defensive measures authorized. As Brenda swung the purse, Logan didn't flinch. He didn't scream. He moved. Logan trapped Brenda's gripping hand with his left hand, pressing his thumb into the back of her knuckles, a simple wrist lock. Brenda yelped and loosened her grip. Simultaneously, Logan ducked under the swinging purse. The bag flew over Emily's head, missing by inches. Logan spun. He used Emily's small size to his advantage. He slipped around the side of the counter, moving like a blur. Brenda turned around, furious. You little rat. She lunged at him, trying to shove him. Logan stepped to the side, a perfect lateral dodge. He stuck his foot out. A textbook foot sweep. Brenda tripped. Gravity took over. As she fell, Logan didn't let her smash into the ground. Lawsuit prevention. He caught her arm, spun her around, and guided her down firmly but safely. Within 2 seconds, Brenda was face down on the linoleum floor. Logan, Emily, was kneeling on Brenda's back, applying a gentle but inescapable shoulder lock. Let me go. Brenda shrieked into the floor tiles. Police. Assault. You initiated the aggression, Logan said calmly to the room, looking up. His face was blank, his breathing even. I merely redirected your kinetic energy. The customers were silent. Then, a teenager in the back started clapping. That was awesome, the kid yelled, filming with his phone. Mr. Grayson burst out of the office again. Emily, what are you doing to the customers? She attacked me, sir, Logan said, not releasing the hold. I have neutralized the threat. Shall I escort her to the perimeter? Grayson looked at Brenda, who was the bane of his existence. He looked at Emily, who suddenly looked like a superhero in a polyester vest. Escort her out, Grayson grinned evilly. And ban her for life. Logan stood up, pulling Brenda up with him effortlessly using leverage. You heard the commander. Move. Brenda, thoroughly humiliated and possibly terrified by the dead look in the small girl's eyes, ran out the door, forgetting her purse. By noon, the video was everywhere. The teenager had uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, Crazy Kung Fu Karen Takedown at 7 to 11. Hashtag girl power, hashtag MMA, hashtag Karen. In the video, Emily Hart, Logan, looked incredibly cool. She moved with a fluidity that didn't match her appearance. The way she looked at the camera afterwards, cold, unblinking, terrifying, was iconic. Viewer comment, OMG, is that the girl from the chill stream? I thought she just ate noodles. Viewer comment, her form is perfect. Look at that hip rotation. That's judo black belt level. Viewer comment, I'm in love. While Logan was becoming a viral hero, Emily was becoming a viral disaster. At the Mercer private gym, the atmosphere was tense. Emily, in Logan's body, stood in the center of the ring. She was wearing Logan's signature fight shorts, which felt like wearing a diaper made of satin. Across from her stood Coach Bruno. Bruno was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master who looked like a thumb with ears. Okay, Logan, Bruno said, chewing gum. I heard you're feeling rusty. Let's just do some light sparring. Technical flow. 30% power. 30%, Emily repeated deeply. Okay, I can do percentages. I'm good at math. Touch gloves, Bruno said. Emily walked forward. She extended Logan's massive hand. I just have to tap his gloves, Emily thought. Just a little tap. Be gentle. Like petting pickles. She reached out. But she forgot the mass of the arm she was controlling. She forgot that Logan's arm weighed about as much as a small child. She thrust the hand forward. Wham! She missed the gloves entirely and punched Coach Bruno directly in the chest. It wasn't a punch. It was a piston. Coach Bruno's eyes bulged. His feet left the ground. He flew backward, cleared the ropes, and landed in a rack of folding chairs. Crash bang clang. Silence fell over the gym. The other fighters stopped sparring. Clara dropped her tablet. Oh my God! Emily screamed in the deep roar. I broke the thumb man. She tried to run to help him, but her coordination failed. She tripped over her own feet, fell forward, and instinctively reached out to grab something. She grabbed the metal corner post of the ring. Screech. With a momentum of 250 pounds falling, she accidentally ripped the metal post out of its socket, bending the steel frame of the ring. She lay on the mat, holding the bent steel post like a teddy bear. Coach Bruno groaned from the pile of chairs. I'm okay. That was good power, Logan. Very direct. Zoe, a female flyweight fighter who had been secretly watching from the cardio deck, stared with her mouth open. Usually, Logan was precise, surgical. This was raw, chaotic, clumsy power. She blushed. He's so animalistic today, she whispered. It's kind of cute. Back at the convenience store, Logan was wiping down the counter, using perfectly efficient circular motions, when the store TV flashed a breaking news alert. Breaking news, Logan Mercer goes berserk? The screen showed blurry footage someone had filmed through the gym window. It showed Logan, Emily, ripping the steel post off the ring and falling down. The anchor spoke. Is the champ losing his mind? Or is this a new, terrifying training regimen? Sources say he punched his coach through a wall and then ate a chair. Experts are calling it the Hulk Protocol. Logan stared at the TV. She is ruining my legacy, he whispered. She is destroying my gym. Then, the channel switched. Viral alert. Convenience store vigilante. The screen showed the video of Logan and Emily taking down Brenda. The anchor laughed, and on a lighter note, check out this girl. She looks like a librarian, but fights like a ninja. Internet sleuths are calling her the cashier of death. Wait, looking at the slow motion, that sweep. Isn't that Logan Mercer's signature move? Logan froze. Too much attention, he said. Cover is blown. Just then, the doors opened. But it wasn't a customer. It was Dr. Roxy Vale. She looked frantic. She was holding a Geiger counter that was clicking like a rattlesnake. Emily. Or Logan. Whoever you are. Roxy yelled, running to the counter. We have a problem. A big one. What? Logan asked. Did the machine melt? Worse, Roxy slammed a blueprint on the counter. I analyzed the data from the surge. The quantum fortune machine didn't just swap you two. It opened a localized rift. If we don't close it in 48 hours, the swap becomes permanent. Your DNA will overwrite the host body. Logan's eyes widened. Permanent? I stay a girl? With no triceps. Yes, Roxy said. But that's not the worst part. The energy signature. Someone else is tracking it. Someone hacked my lab servers an hour ago. Who? The IP address came from. Roxy gulped. Dawson MMA Gym. Logan's blood ran cold. Tyler Dawson. He knows, Logan realized. He knows about the machine. And if he gets it, he could swap with anyone, Roxy finished. He could swap with the president. Or Elon Musk. Or, well, you again, to get his body back if he loses. Logan took off his apron. He folded it neatly. I need to go to the gym, Logan said. I need to find my body. And I need to teach that girl how to throw a punch before she accidentally kills someone. Emily Hart, occupying the massive chassis of Logan Mercer, stood outside the men's locker room of the Mercer Elite Combat Center. He was vibrating with anxiety. Okay, she whispered, the voice sounding like a tectonic plate shifting. It's just a locker room. It's like the changing rooms at Zara, but muskier. She reached out to open the door. Her mind said, turn knob gently, but her nervous system sent a signal closer to rip the head off a lion. Creak snap. The brass doorknob sheared off in her hand. She didn't just turn it, she crushed the internal mechanism and pulled the cylinder straight out of the wood. Oops, she squeaked, roared. She pushed the door. Without the latch, it swung open with too much momentum, slamming into the wall behind it and leaving a distinct, handle-shaped dent in the plaster. Inside, the locker room fell silent. 3 heavyweight fighters were in various stages of changing. They froze, towels in hand, staring at Logan. Usually, Logan Mercer walked in, stared at the floor, grunted morning, and went to his private corner. Today, Emily, as Logan, held up the broken doorknob and smiled a terrifying, toothy grin. Hi guys, she boomed. Sorry about the door. I just don't know my own strength today. Teehee. She actually said teehee. The fighters exchanged horrified glances. Did the silencer just giggle? Hey champ, one fighter muttered, quickly covering himself. Emily walked to Logan's locker. She tried to be casual. So, how are we all feeling emotionally today? Good vibes? No bad energy. A fighter named Crusher Davis blinked. My knee hurts? Emily gasped sympathetically. Oh no. Have you tried lavender oil? Or maybe just a really good cry. Sometimes releasing the toxins through tears helps the inflammation. Crusher Davis looked at the floor, confused. I haven't cried since 1998. Well, maybe that's the problem, Crusher, Emily said, patting him on the shoulder. The pat was meant to be gentle, but it buckled Crusher's knees. Let it out, big guy. Let it out. She walked away to find the restroom. Crusher looked at the others. Did Logan just tell me to cry? Why does that make me respect him more? Emily emerged from the locker room, wearing a fresh compression shirt that felt like a corset made of Under Armour. She was immediately intercepted by Zoe, the Viper Vance. Zoe was the number 4 ranked flyweight in the world. She was fierce, fast, and had been secretly in love with Logan for 2 years. Logan, being emotionally constipated, had never noticed. Logan, Zoe said, crossing her arms. She looked suspicious. I saw what happened to Coach Bruno. You put him in the chairs. You okay? Emily looked down at Zoe. Zoe was pretty. Intimidating, but pretty. Oh, Zoe. Emily beamed. I felt terrible about that. I'm going to bake him cookies later to apologize. Do you think he likes macadamia nut, or is he a chocolate chip kind of guy? Zoe's jaw dropped. Cookies? You? The last time I offered you food, you told me fuel is for engines, not for enjoyment. Emily waved a massive hand dismissively. That was old Logan. New Logan is all about flavor and self-care. By the way, Emily leaned in, examining Zoe's face. Your skin is glowing today. Did you change your moisturizer? Is that hyaluronic acid? Zoe blushed. A deep, red flush crept up her neck. The stoic, iron-willed Logan Mercer was noticing her skincare routine? Yeah, Zoe stammered, twirling a strand of hair. I started a new night serum. It's working, girl, Emily said, giving her a thumbs up. You look fierce. Now, point me to the murder cage. I have a date with a gorilla. Emily marched off toward the octagon. Zoe watched him go, her heart pounding. He's dangerous, yet sensitive, she whispered. I think I need to marry him. The gym floor was cleared. A crowd had gathered. Word had spread that Logan was acting weird and destroying furniture. In the center of the octagon stood Mike, the gorilla Samson. Mike was a heavyweight sparring partner hired specifically to test Logan's durability. He was 6 feet 6 inches, 280 pounds, and had a tattoo of a lawnmower on his back because he mowed people down. He wasn't a technical fighter. He was a sledgehammer with legs. All right, pretty boy, Mike yelled, slamming his gloves together. Clara said you need to wake up. I'm here to wake you up. Emily stood in the opposite corner. She felt tiny, even though she was almost the same size as Mike. Can we just talk about this? Emily asked, her voice booming through her mouthguard. Violence is never the answer, Mike. Violence is my middle name. Mike roared. His middle name was actually Francis. Coach Bruno, nursing a bruised chest and holding an ice pack, rang the bell. Ding. Fight. Mike charged. He ran like a freight train, head down, fists swinging wildly. Emily panicked. Run. Her brain screamed. She turned to run away, but Logan's body wasn't built for fleeing, it was built for engaging. Her attempt to pivot and run resulted in a clumsy pirouette. Whoa, Emily yelled. Mike threw a massive right hook aimed at her head. Emily saw it coming. She scrunched her eyes shut and threw her hands up in front of her face in a classic, don't hit me, flinch. But Logan's arms were heavy. When she threw them up, her right elbow flared out with tremendous velocity. Crack. Mike's face collided with Emily's panicked elbow. It was purely accidental. But to the onlookers, it looked like a no-look, spinning back elbow counter, a move so advanced only grandmasters attempted it. Mike stumbled back stunned. What was that? I'm sorry. Emily yelled, eyes still closed, spinning around in a circle trying to find her balance. As she spun, her legs swung out. She was just trying to stop herself from falling, but the momentum of Logan's massive leg turned it into a wheel kick. Mike, still dazed, walked right into it. Thwack! The kick connected with Mike's chest. He lifted off the ground. He flew backward, clearing the ropes again, and sailed through the air. He crashed directly into the trophy case on the far wall. Glass shattered everywhere. Golden cups and medals rained down on him. Silence engulfed the gym. Emily opened one eye. She saw Mike groaning under a pile of broken glass and gold. "Oh my God!" Emily shrieked, roared. "I killed the gorilla. Someone call a vet. I mean, a doctor." The crowd didn't see a clumsy girl panicking. They saw a cold-blooded killer toying with his prey. "Did you see that?" a rookie fighter whispered. He didn't even look. He closed his eyes to use the force. "The disrespect," another whispered in awe. He turned his back on him and hit him with a blind elbow. "That's the Phantom Strike. I read about it in ancient scrolls." Clara stood by the ring, typing furiously on her tablet. Heart rate, 65. Stress levels, minimal. Efficiency, maximum. He's not just back. He's evolved. He fights on pure instinct now. Zoe watched, biting her lip. He's so chaotic. It's intoxicating. Suddenly, the double doors of the gym burst open. Logan Mercer, in the body of Emily Hart, stood in the doorway. He was out of breath. He had run 3 miles from the convenience store because he didn't have enough money for another taxi and refused to steal a bicycle. He looked at the carnage. He saw the broken door. He saw the dented wall. He saw Mike, the gorilla, being pulled out of a trophy case by paramedics. And he saw his own body, Emily, standing in the center of the ring, doing a weird little "I'm sorry" dance while hugging the referee. "Stop!" Logan yelled. The voice was high and shrill. Everyone turned to look. They saw a small girl in a red convenience store polo shirt, sweating profusely, looking furious. "Hey!" A security guard stepped forward. "You can't be in here, miss. This is a private facility. No fans allowed." Logan looked up at the guard. "I am not a fan. I am part of the management team." "Yeah, right," the guard scoffed. He reached out to grab Logan's arm. "Come on, sweetheart, let's go buy a slushie." Logan's eyes narrowed. "Do not touch the merchandise." The guard grabbed his arm. Logan moved. This time, he was ready for the weight difference. He couldn't use power, so he used pain compliance. He grabbed the guard's pinky finger and bent it backward at a 45-degree angle while stepping on the guard's instep. "Yuch!" the guard screamed, dropping to his knees. Logan stepped over him, marching toward the ring. The room parted. There was something about the way this small girl walked, shoulders back, chin down, eyes locked on the target, that triggered a primal, "do not interfere" response in the fighters. Logan climbed up the steps to the octagon. He slipped through the ropes, gracefully, unlike Emily. He stood face to chest with his own body. Emily, in Logan, looked down. "Oh. Hello. You're me. I mean, you're the rude customer." "Silence," Logan hissed, grabbing his own massive bicep and pulling Emily into a corner. "Lower your voice. You sound like a tuba." "I can't help it," Emily yelled. "Your vocal cords are like cello strings. Look, I won. I beat the monkey man." "Did you see?" "I saw you flail like a drowning giraffe," Logan snapped. "You're destroying my reputation. You broke the trophy case. That glass was imported from Italy." "Well, you broke my nail polish," Emily retorted, pointing at her own small hands that Logan was using. "And my legs are tired. Did you run here?" "I ran," Logan said. "Because we have a crisis. Dawson knows." "Dawson?" Emily gasped. "The TikTok guy? He hacked the lab," Logan said grimly. "He knows the machine works. And judging by the camera crews outside," Logan pointed to the gym windows. Outside, vans with satellite dishes were pulling up. TMZ, ESPN, Face Punch News. "He is turning this into a circus." Suddenly, the gym doors opened again. But this time, it wasn't a fighter. It was Tyler Dawson, flanked by a camera crew and 3 guys wearing sunglasses indoors. Tyler walked in, clapping slowly. "Bravo! Bravo!" Tyler shouted, grinning. "I saw the live stream. Logan Mercer, the blind ninja. Closing your eyes during a fight? Bold strategy, Grandpa." Emily, in Logan, hid behind Logan, in Emily. "He's scary," she whispered. Logan, in Emily, stepped in front of his own massive body. "Get out, Dawson. This is a private training session." Tyler looked down at the small convenience store girl. He laughed. "And who is this? Your mascot? Did you bring a cheerleader, Logan?" Tyler leaned down to flick Logan, Emily, on the nose. Logan didn't flinch. He stared into Tyler's soul. "Touch me again, and you will be fighting the title match from a wheelchair." Tyler pulled back, unsettled. The girl's eyes, they were dead. Cold. Just like Logan's used to be. "Whatever," Tyler straightened up, addressing the cameras. "I'm just here to announce that the Cage of Death match has been moved up. Since Logan is feeling so experimental, we're fighting in 3 days." 3 days. Emily screamed, boomed. "I have a dentist appointment." 3 days, Tyler smirked. "And the winner doesn't just get the belt. The winner gets the Quantum Fortune machine rights. I bought the debt from your landlord, Logan. I own the building where that stupid store is." Logan's blood ran cold. If Tyler owned the store, he owned the machine. If he owned the machine, he controlled the swap. "Accept the challenge," Logan whispered to Emily. "What?" "No," Emily whispered back. "I can't fight him. He looks like a shark in human skin." "Accept it," Logan commanded. "Or I will tell everyone about the fanfiction you write on your laptop." Emily froze. You read the Chronicles of Pickles?" "Accept it." Emily, in Logan, took a deep breath. She puffed out her chest. She looked at Tyler. "Okay, Bleach Boy," she bellowed. "You're on. 3 days. You, me, and, pain. Lots of pain." Tyler laughed. "Perfect. Sign the contract." He tossed a clipboard at Logan's chest. Emily fumbled it, bobbled it, and eventually caught it between her chin and shoulder. "Intimidating," Tyler mocked. "See you in the cage, Iron Jaw." He left, the cameras following him. The gym was quiet again. Clara walked up to the pair. She looked at Logan, the giant man behaving like a toddler, and Emily, the small girl radiating menace. "I don't know what is happening," Clara said, adjusting her glasses. "Why is the random cashier negotiating our contracts? And why is Logan looking at me like he's afraid I'm going to make him eat vegetables?" Logan, in Emily, sighed. He looked at Clara. "Clara," Logan said. "Cancel my 2 p.m. We need to talk. In the office. Now." Clara blinked. The tone. The cadence. It was perfect. "Yes, sir," Clara said instinctively to the small girl. Then she shook her head. "Wait. Sir." Logan turned to Emily. "We have 72 hours, Logan said. "I have to teach you how to fight. And you." He looked down at his own pathetic, soft body. "You have to teach me how to be charming." Emily blinked. "Charming. If we're going to save the machine," Logan said, "we need the public on our side. We need to be loved." "And I." Logan shuddered. "I don't know how to smile without looking like I'm having a stroke." Emily grinned, in Logan's body. "Oh, I can help with that. Step 1, spirit fingers." She waved Logan's massive fingers in the air. "We are doomed," Logan groaned. The sun had set over Los Angeles, casting long shadows across the living room of the Mercer penthouse. The mood was grave. The stakes were high. Logan Mercer, occupying the small body of Emily Hart, paced back and forth on the expensive Persian rug. He was wearing a pair of fluffy bunny slippers because Emily's feet hurt from the taxi run. Emily Hart, occupying the colossal mountain of muscle that was Logan Mercer, sat on the sofa, carefully holding a teacup that looked like a thimble in her hand. Dr. Roxy Vale was drawing complex diagrams on a whiteboard she had dragged in from the hallway. Clara, the assistant, sat in the corner, looking back and forth between the two with the expression of someone who had decided to just go with the flow because the severance package wasn't worth quitting over. "Situation report," Logan squeaked, then cleared his throat to try and find a lower register. We have 72 hours before the fight. We have 48 hours before the quantum signature becomes permanent. And we have 0 hours of sleep. And I'm hungry, Emily rumbled deeply. My stomach sounds like a whale singing to its mate. Focus, Logan snapped. Dr. Vale, explain the threat. Roxy capped her marker. Okay, team. Bad news. The Quantum Fortune 3000 didn't just swap your minds. It entangled your biorhythms. If we don't reverse the polarity using the original core, which is currently in the charred remains of the machine at the store, your DNA will rewrite itself. Meaning? Emily asked, terrified. Meaning, Roxy pointed at Emily, you will start growing actual hair on your chest. And she pointed at Logan, will start developing an uncontrollable urge to buy scented candles. Logan shuddered. Unacceptable. I hate lavender. It gets worse, Roxy continued. I hacked into the store's security feed. Tyler Dawson has hired private security to guard the store. He's not just holding the machine hostage, he's trying to reverse engineer it. He wants to bottle the luck, energy, and sell it as an energy drink. That's diabolical, Clara noted dryly. And very marketable. We need that machine, Logan said. But first, we need to ensure we don't die in the meantime. Phase 1, training. He looked at Emily. I will teach you how to be a weapon. He looked at himself in the mirror. And you will teach me how to be nice. The training montage began with a thumping bass of 80s rock music, put on by Emily. Logan, in Emily, stood with a whistle around his neck. He looked like a disgruntled gym teacher. Okay, maggot. Logan yelled. I mean, Emily. Rule number 1, the jab. It is the foundation. Extend the arm. Twist the hip. Snap it back. Emily, in Logan, stood before the heavy bag. It was a 200-pound bag filled with sand and fabric. Okay, extend and twist, Emily muttered. Like reaching for the last box of cereal on the top shelf. She threw the jab. But she forgot the power variable. She didn't just snap it, she launched it. Boom. The fist connected. The heavy bag didn't just swing, it exploded off its chain. It flew across the room, sailed over the railing of the loft, and crashed onto the smoothie bar below. Oopsie, Emily yelled, covering her mouth. Control, Logan screamed, waving his tiny arms. You're driving a tank, not a scooter. You have to feather the gas. It's hard, Emily whined, stomping her foot. Crack. The floorboard splintered under the stomp. Stop moving, Logan commanded. Just exist softer. Exercise 2, the stare down. Intimidation is 90% of the fight, Logan explained. You have to look like you've seen the abyss, and the abyss blinked first. Show me your war face. Emily tried. She furrowed her brow. She bared her teeth. No, Logan sighed. You look like you have gas. Stop smiling with your eyes. Dead eyes. Shark eyes. Emily tried again. She thought about the time Mr. Grayson canceled her vacation. Better, Logan noted. But you're still pouting. Don't pout. Growl. Grr. Emily offered. Pathetic. Again. Exercise 3, agility. Logan set up a ladder drill on the floor. Fast feet. In, out, out. Emily started well. Thump, thump, thump. Then she saw a butterfly. Oh, pretty. She turned her head. Her massive legs got tangled. She tripped, rolled, and turned into a rolling boulder of muscle. She rolled straight toward Logan. Evasive maneuvers. Logan shrieked, diving behind a medicine ball rack just as Emily crashed into the wall, leaving a perfect imprint of Logan's shoulder in the drywall. I think I broke the house, Emily groaned from the rubble. The next day, the roles were reversed. Logan, in Emily, had to work a shift to maintain cover, while Emily, in Logan, hid in the back wearing a hoodie and sunglasses, communicating via earpiece. Okay, Logan, Emily whispered through the comms. Customer at 12 o'clock. Remember, Smiley. See the customer. Make eye contact. Invite them in. Love the interaction. Engage. That acronym has too many letters, Logan grumbled, adjusting his name tag. A nice old lady approached the counter with a carton of milk. Logan looked at her. He attempted a smile. In his mind, it was a warm, welcoming expression. In reality, it looked like a serial killer deciding which knife to use. His lips curled back too far, exposing too much gum. His eyes didn't squint, they widened. The old lady froze. Are you okay, dear? Are you having a seizure? I am delighted you are here, Logan shouted. Please purchase the lactose. Too intense. Emily whispered in his ear. Softer. Use your kitten voice. Here is your receipt, Logan whispered raspily. Have a magical day. The old lady grabbed her milk and ran. The challenge, the Karen returns. A man walked in. He was on his phone, loud, obnoxious. He threw a bag of chips on the counter. Scan it. Hurry up. I'm important, the man said, not looking up. Logan felt the rage building. The fighter in him wanted to reach over, grab the man's jaw, and introduce him to the concept of gravity. Deep breaths, Emily coached. Imagine he's a baby bird. A stupid, rude baby bird. Logan took a breath. Sir, could you please get off the phone? Excuse me. The man looked down. Just do your job, Wagey. Wagey. Logan's eye twitched. He looked at his small, uncalloused hands. He realized something. He had fought monsters in the cage, but Emily fought these monsters every single day. And she couldn't punch them. She had to take it. Respect, Logan whispered to himself. What? The man snapped. Logan smiled. A real, genuine, terrifying smile. I said, Logan leaned in. The chip reader is broken. You have to tap it. Harder. With your forehead. Really? The man looked confused. Store policy, Logan lied smoothly. The man leaned down and bonked his head against the card reader. Thump. Authorized, Logan said, pressing the button manually. Get out. From the back room, Emily giggled. Okay, that was mean. But I liked it. Lunch break. Logan and Emily met in the storage room, sitting on crates of expired soda. I am exhausted, Logan admitted, rubbing his feet. My back hurts. My feet hurt. My soul hurts. How do you do this for minimum wage? You get used to the pain, Emily shrugged carefully so she didn't rip her shirt. It's like getting punched in the leg, but for 8 hours straight. Suddenly, Dr. Roxy Vale burst in through the back delivery door. She was holding a tablet and looking pale. Code red. Roxy hissed. I've been monitoring the energy spikes. Did the machine explode again? Emily asked. No, Roxy swiped the screen to show them a map. The spikes aren't coming from the machine anymore. They're coming from Tyler Dawson's house. What? Logan stood up. He moved the core, Roxy explained. He took the quantum core out of the machine at the store. But here's the bad news. The core is unstable. If it's not in the cooling unit, which is here in the store, it's basically a ticking time bomb. A bomb? Emily asked. Like, boom. Like a quantum implosion that will turn a 3-block radius into a black hole, Roxy clarified. He thinks it's a battery. He doesn't know its critical mass. How long? Logan asked, his tactical mind engaging. Based on the decay rate. 24 hours, Roxy said. Exactly the time of the weigh-ins for the fight. Logan looked at Emily. Emily looked at Logan. We have to get that core back, Logan said. We can't wait for the fight. We have to steal it. Steal it? Emily gasped. Like Ocean's 11? But I'm not George Clooney. I'm barely Danny DeVito. We need a plan, Logan said. And we need a team. Roxy, can you disable the security at Dawson's mansion? I can try, Roxy said. But he has biometric scanners. Fingerprints, retinal scans. He has my fingerprints, Emily, in Logan, realized. Because he stole my data from the FacePunch app. No, Logan corrected. He has my fingerprints, which are currently on your hands. They looked at Emily's giant hands. We need to break into Tyler Dawson's mansion, Logan plotted. I will be the brains. You will be the muscle. Roxy is the hacker. We need a driver, Emily said. And a distraction. Just then, the storage door creaked open. Deputy Miller stood there. He was holding a slushie. I knew I heard voices back here, Miller said, narrowing his eyes. He looked at the massive Logan, Emily, crouching behind a stack of toilet paper, and the tiny Emily, Logan, looking guilty. Everything okay, Emily? Miller asked Logan. And, Mr. Mercer? Why are you hiding behind the Charmin Ultra Soft? Logan looked at Miller. He saw the gun. He saw the badge. And he saw the guy who had a crush on Emily. Deputy Miller, Logan said, stepping forward with gravitas. How would you like to save the city from a quantum apocalypse? Miller took a sip of his slushie. Is this gonna involve paperwork? Because I hate paperwork. No paperwork, Emily, and Logan boomed. Just action. And maybe explosions. Miller grinned. I'm in. My shift ends in 10 minutes. Okay, Logan addressed the team. He was wearing a tactical vest over his red polo shirt. It looked ridiculous. Target, Dawson Manor. Objective, retrieve the quantum core. Extraction, fast. I found some gear in your closet, Emily said. She came out wearing a black turtleneck and tactical pants. She looked like a spy movie star, except she kept tripping over the shoelaces. You look adequate, Logan nodded. Here's the plan. Tonight, Dawson is hosting a pre-fight party. The house will be full of guests, media, and influencers. Gross, Miller muttered. We infiltrate, Logan said. Emily, you are the distraction. You go in the front door. You are Logan Mercer. Be arrogant. Be loud. Draw attention. I can be loud, Emily said confidently. I will infiltrate the vents, Logan said. My current size allows for access to small spaces. You're going in the vents? Miller asked. Like Die Hard. Exactly like Die Hard, Logan said. Except I have the upper body strength of a squirrel, so I will need a boost. What about me? Miller asked. You wait in the car, Logan said. If things go south, turn on the sirens and create chaos. And me? Roxy asked. You monitor the core stability, Logan said. If it turns red, run. Logan looked at the team. Let's go get our bodies back. Tyler Dawson's mansion was a monstrosity of modern architecture. It looked like a giant toaster made of glass. Music thumped from inside. Expensive cars lined the driveway. Emily and Logan stepped out of the police car, parked down the street. She adjusted her sunglasses. Okay, showtime, she whispered. Be Logan. Be the champ. She walked up to the bouncer. Name? The bouncer asked. Emily lowered her sunglasses. She gave the bouncer the death stare she had practiced. I am the one who knocks, she growled, quoting Breaking Bad because she panicked. The bouncer's eyes widened. Mr. Mercer. Didn't know you were coming. Come right in. She walked in. The party stopped. Everyone looked at Logan Mercer, the enemy, walking into the lion's den. Tyler Dawson was on a balcony, holding a microphone. Well, Tyler shouted. Look who decided to show up. Come to surrender early, Grandpa. Emily looked up. She felt the fear. But then she touched the earpiece. We are in position, Logan's voice whispered. Create a scene. Emily grinned. A big, goofy, un-Logan smile. Surrender. Emily boomed. I just came for the snacks. And to tell you that your curtains are tacky. The crowd gasped. Meanwhile, around the back of the house, a small figure in a red polo shirt was being boosted up to a bathroom window by a police officer. Higher, Miller, Logan grunted. You're heavier than you look, Miller strained. Logan grabbed the windowsill. He pulled himself up, struggling, sweating, shaking. I miss my pull-up muscles, he wheezed. He tumbled into the bathroom. He was in. The atmosphere inside Dawson Manor was a cocktail of expensive perfume, thumping bass, and imminent disaster. Emily Hart, occupying the hulking frame of Logan Mercer, stood by the chocolate fountain. She was sweating. Not a glow, but a torrential downpour of nervous perspiration that soaked through Logan's bespoke tactical turtleneck. So, Logan, Tyler Dawson sneered, swirling a glass of champagne. He was wearing a white suit that screamed villain. You're awfully quiet. Usually, you'd be threatening to break my limbs by now. Instead, you're eating a strawberry. Emily froze, the strawberry halfway to her mouth. Antioxidants, she grunted, trying to sound menacing. Fuel for the, pain train. Right, Tyler rolled his eyes. Enjoy the party. It's your retirement celebration. Meanwhile, in the ventilation shaft above the living room, Logan Mercer, in Emily's petite body, was army crawling through dust bunnies. My knees, Logan whispered to himself. This body lacks cartilage. Note to self, Emily needs calcium supplements. He reached a grate. Peering down, he saw the prize. In a glass display case in Tyler's private study, visible through an open door, sat the quantum core. It was pulsing with an angry red light. Roxy, Logan tapped his earpiece. Target acquired. It's glowing red. Is that bad? Red means critical instability. Roxy's voice crackled in his ear. You have maybe 20 minutes before it melts through the floor and turns Beverly Hills into a crater. Get it and get out. Logan kicked the grate. It clattered to the floor of the empty study. He dropped down. Thump. He landed in a crouch. A perfect superhero landing. Crack. Ow, Logan winced, rubbing Emily's ankle. Too much impact. Need to adjust for lower bone density. He ran to the case. He didn't have time for lockpicking. He looked around, grabbed a heavy bust of Tyler Dawson made of bronze, and smashed the glass. Smash. Alarms blared instantly. Go loud. Logan yelled into the comms. Emily, create chaos. In the living room, Emily heard the alarm. She panicked. Chaos? Okay, I can do chaos. She looked at the chocolate fountain. She looked at the crowd of influencers. She grabbed the entire chocolate fountain machine, which probably weighed 80 pounds, and heaved it into the middle of the dance floor. Food fight, she roared. Hot chocolate sprayed everywhere. People screamed. Expensive dresses were ruined. Run. Logan sprinted out of the study, clutching the glowing red core like a football. He burst into the living room, spotting Emily, his body. To the car. Logan shrieked. They sprinted out the front door, dodging confused waiters, just as Deputy Miller screeched the police cruiser up to the curb. Get in. Miller yelled. I have the sirens on. It makes me feel cool. The drive back to Grayson's 24/7 mart was a blur of motion sickness and tactical shouting. Why are we going back to the store? Emily yelled from the back seat, wiping chocolate off Logan's beard. The cooling unit. Roxy screamed from the passenger seat, holding her laptop. The core needs liquid nitrogen cooling immediately. The only place that has a compatible slot is the original machine shell at the store. And the slushy machine, Logan added. If the cooling unit fails, we dump it in the blue raspberry. It's chemically colder than ice. They skidded around a corner. We have a tail. Miller checked the rearview mirror. Black SUVs. No license plates. They aren't cops. Dawson security? Emily asked. Worse, Logan peered out the back window. Look at the hood ornaments. Red wolves. The Red Coyote Gang. Who are they? Emily asked. Mercenaries, Logan said grimly. Rumor has it they're ex-special forces who got kicked out for being too violent. Dawson must have hired them to retrieve the tech. Great, Emily whimpered. Violent coyotes. Just what I needed. They crashed through the parking lot of the convenience store. The store was closed. Mr. Grayson was asleep in the office, the lights dimmed. Inside. Now, Logan commanded. They bailed out of the car and rushed into the store. Roxy immediately ran to the charred remains of the Quantum Fortune 3000 in the corner, plugging the glowing red core back into its socket. Initializing cooling sequence. Roxy typed furiously. I need 3 minutes. Outside, tires screeched. 4 black SUVs surrounded the store, blocking the exits. Doors opened. Men poured out. They wore tactical gear and terrifying masks shaped like snarling coyotes. They carried automatic rifles. This is not a drill, Miller said, unholstering his service weapon. He looked pale. I usually just bust teenagers for skateboarding. These guys have military hardware. Lock the doors, Logan ordered. Emily, in Logan, ran to the door and slid the manual lock. That won't stop them. They have guns. Rat-a-tat-tat. Bullets shattered the front glass windows. Shards of glass rained down on the magazine rack. Get down. Logan tackled Roxy, covering her with his small body. The Red Coyote leader, a massive man wearing a golden wolf mask, stepped forward with a megaphone. We want the core. Send it out, and we only break your legs. Keep it, and we turn this store into Swiss cheese. Charming, Miller muttered, crouching behind the counter. We can't give it to them, Roxy yelled over the noise. If they disconnect it now, it detonates. We have to hold them off for 2 minutes. Logan looked at Emily. He looked at Miller. He looked at the store. This is our arena now, Logan said. The fear was gone from his voice. His tactical mind was fully engaged. Miller, suppressive fire. Roxy, fix the machine. Emily. He looked at his own massive body, currently shivering behind a display of beef jerky. You are the tank. You draw their fire. Me? Emily squeaked, boomed. I'm a target. Exactly, Logan said. You're bulletproof. Well, not technically, but you're big enough to scare them. Just don't get shot. Great advice. Emily yelled sarcastically. The glass doors shattered completely. The Coyote gang breached the perimeter. Go! Logan yelled. Action Sequence 1, The Clerk of Doom. Logan Mercer, in Emily's body, rolled out from behind the counter. He didn't look like a fighter, he looked like a terrified cashier. But he moved like John Wick. 2 thugs rushed him. Logan slid across the floor on his knees, a move that burned Emily's skin, but he ignored it. He grabbed a bottle of sparkling water from a fallen display. Shake. Spray. He sprayed the high-pressure carbonated water directly into the eyes of the first thug. The thug screamed, blinded. Logan used the distraction. He jumped up, using the counter for leverage, and swung the glass bottle. Smash. He cracked the bottle over the thug's tactical helmet. It didn't knock him out, but it stunned him. Logan followed up with a precise throat chop using the ridge of his hand. The thug went down, gasping. The second thug raised his rifle. Logan didn't retreat. He dove forward, scrambling under the thug's legs. He grabbed the thug's ankle and pulled. Ankle pick takedown. The thug fell face-first into a rack of potato chips. Crunch. Price check on a beatdown. Logan yelled. He regretted saying it immediately, but the adrenaline was high. Action Sequence 2, The Gentle Giant. On the other side of the store, Emily, in Logan, was hyperventilating. Just like the video games, she told herself. Just like Animal Crossing? No, that doesn't help. 3 thugs cornered her near the frozen food section. Hands up, big man, they yelled. Emily raised her hands. Please. I'm just a vessel. 1 thug lunged at her with a baton. Reflexively, Emily swatted him away. Shoo! Because she was possessing the strongest man on Earth, the swat sent the 200-pound mercenary flying through the air. He crashed through the glass door of the ice cream freezer and landed in a pile of popsicles. Oh my God, Emily gasped. Are you okay? Do you want a popsicle? The other 2 thugs stared at their comrade, then at Emily. They opened fire. Bang bang. Bullets whizzed past her ears. Eek! Emily shrieked. She dropped to the floor and started crawling. But she was huge. She bumped into a shelf. The shelf tipped over. It was the heavy canned goods aisle. Hundreds of cans of soup, beans, and peaches rained down on the thugs like an avalanche. Bonk. Thud. Clang. The thugs were buried under an assault of sodium-rich legumes. Take that. Emily yelled, peeking out. Beans are good for your heart, but bad for your head. Suddenly, the leader, Golden Wolf Mask, entered the fray. He wasn't distracted by soup or water bottles. He moved with precision. He saw Logan, in Emily, the small girl dismantling his men. He realized she was the tactical threat. Logan was busy choking out a thug with a receipt roll when the leader struck. A heavy boot kicked Logan in the ribs. Oof. Logan gasped. The air left his lungs. The pain was blinding. Emily's ribs were fragile. The leader grabbed Logan by the ponytail and hauled him up. He pressed the cold muzzle of a desert eagle against Logan's temple. Stop, the leader roared. The store went silent. Miller froze, gun aimed but unable to shoot. Emily stood up from behind the soup pile, her eyes wide. Roxy stopped typing. Nobody moves, the leader growled. Or the little girl gets a skylight in her skull. Logan wheezed, dangling from the leader's grip. He tried to calculate an escape, but the pain was too intense. His body, Emily's body, was shutting down. Give me the core, the leader demanded. Now. Emily looked at Logan. She saw her own face, pale and in pain. She saw the gun. Something in Emily snapped. Usually, she was afraid. She was the girl who apologized to tables when she bumped into them. But looking at herself, Logan, about to be executed, triggered a protective instinct she didn't know she had. It wasn't the fighter's rage that Logan had. It was something else. It was the cat mom rage. The rage of someone protecting the only thing they loved. "Hey," Emily bellowed. The voice of Logan Mercer shook the fluorescent lights. The leader turned. "Stay back, meathead." "Let her go," Emily said. She didn't sound like a clumsy girl anymore. She sounded like thunder. She stepped forward. "One more step and she dies," the leader warned. Emily didn't stop. She looked at the police lights flashing outside. The blue and red strobes illuminated Logan's massive muscles, making him look like a demon rising from the shadows. "You think a gun scares me?" Emily bluffed. She was terrified. "I've eaten lightning. I've wrestled tornadoes." The leader hesitated. The sheer size of the man walking toward him was primal. "Deputy Miller," Emily shouted. Flashbang. Miller didn't have a flashbang, but he had a brain. He grabbed a bag of flour from the baking aisle and threw it into the air. Poof! A white cloud engulfed the center of the store. "No!" Emily screamed. She didn't use technique. She didn't use a jab or a hook. She charged. She lowered her shoulder and ran straight through the flour cloud like a linebacker. The tackle. Emily slammed into the leader with the force of a speeding sedan. The gun flew out of his hand. Logan dropped to the floor, coughing. The leader and Emily crashed through the greeting card stand, rolling over racks of "Happy Birthday" and "Get Well Soon" cards. "Get off me," the leader yelled, trying to punch Emily. But Emily was sitting on him. 250 pounds of muscle. "No," Emily yelled, slapping his hand away. "Bad coyote. Bad." She grabbed a nearby object, a frozen turkey that had fallen out of a customer's cart earlier, and swung it. Thwack. The frozen bird connected with the golden wolf mask. The mask dented. The leader went limp. "Turkey slap," Emily announced breathlessly. The store fell quiet. The thugs were groaning under soup cans or unconscious. The leader was knocked out by poultry. "We did it." Roxy cheered from the corner. "Cooling sequence complete. The core is stable." Logan sat up, clutching his ribs. "Good work, team." That was unconventional. Emily beamed, sitting on top of the unconscious leader. "I did it. I used the turkey." Suddenly, the automatic doors slid open. Slow clapping echoed through the destroyed store. Tyler Dawson walked in. He wasn't alone. He was followed by his own film crew and a lawyer. "Cut. Print. That was beautiful." Tyler laughed. He stepped over the broken glass. "You see," Tyler said, pointing a finger at the battered group. "I knew the Red Coyotes were incompetent. That's why I didn't pay them to get the core. I paid them to soften you up." Tyler pulled out a remote control. "That machine belongs to me," Tyler smirked. "I bought the patent rights from a shell company an hour ago. Legally, you are trespassing. And legally." He pressed a button on the remote. The metal shutters of the store slammed down over the windows and doors, locking them all inside. "This is now a private cage match." Tyler threw off his suit jacket, revealing his fight gear underneath. "The cameras are rolling," Tyler said, gesturing to his crew who were live streaming. "The narrative is simple. A deranged Logan Mercer and his accomplice broke into my store, caused millions in damages, and attacked me. I defended myself." He looked at Emily and Logan. "Come on, Grandpa. Let's finish this. No referees. No rounds. Just a beatdown." Logan, in Emily, tried to stand up, but fell back. His ribs were broken. "Emily," Logan whispered. "I can't help you physically. It's just you." Emily looked at Tyler. She looked at the unconscious mercenaries. She looked at the frozen turkey in her hand. "I don't think the turkey is going to work on him," she whispered back. "No," Logan said. "You have to fight him. For real." Emily stood up. She cracked her neck, accidentally, but it looked cool. "Okay," Emily said, her voice deep and resonant. "Let's dance, Bleach Boy." The metal shutters had sealed the store tight. The only light came from the flickering fluorescent tubes and the harsh LED floodlights of Tyler Dawson's camera crew. The air was thick with the smell of spilled soda, ozone, and fear. Tyler Dawson bounced on the balls of his feet in the center of the store, near the destroyed chip rack. He looked every bit the modern gladiator, bleached hair, gleaming white veneers, and gloves that cost more than Emily's car. Across from him stood Emily Hart, wearing the body of Logan Mercer. She was breathing heavily, her massive chest heaving. Her red polo shirt was torn, revealing the tactical turtleneck underneath, which was now stained with chocolate and frozen turkey grease. "Look at you," Tyler taunted, circling her. He spoke not just to her, but to the drone hovering above them, live streaming to millions on FacePunch. "The great iron jaw. You look lost. You look soft. Did you forget your steroids this morning?" Emily swallowed hard. "I don't do steroids," she deepened her voice, trying to sound brave. "I run on wholesome grains and justice." "Cute," Tyler spat. He lashed out with a lightning-fast leg kick. Thwack. It connected with Emily's thigh. "Ow!" Emily yelled, jumping on one leg. "That stings. Why are your shins so sharp?" "Because I conditioned them." Tyler laughed. He stepped in, throwing a jab-cross combination. Emily tried to block, but her reflexes were those of a cashier, not a fighter. She raised her hands too late. Tyler's fist slipped through her guard and popped her right in the nose. Emily stumbled back, crashing into a display of breath mints. "My nose. Is it crooked? Do I look like a Picasso painting?" The coach in the corner. Behind the counter, Logan Mercer, in Emily's battered body, groaned. He pulled himself up, clutching his broken ribs. Pain shot through his torso like electricity, but he couldn't let that stop him. "She is going to get slaughtered," Logan rasped. "She is fighting a shark with the instincts of a goldfish." Deputy Miller was pinned down near the magazine rack by two of Tyler's cameramen who were surprisingly burly. Dr. Roxy Vale was hiding behind the slushy machine, hugging her laptop. "Logan," Roxy hissed. "You have to do something. If Tyler knocks her out, I can't sync the biorhythms for the swap back. The subject needs to be conscious." Logan looked at the store. He saw the spilled oil, the scattered cans, the broken glass. He realized something. This wasn't the Octagon. This was Grayson's Mart. This was Emily's territory. Logan grabbed the store's PA system microphone. It screeched with feedback. "Attention shopper," Logan's voice, Emily's high pitch, echoed through the store speakers. "We have a cleanup on aisle. Your face." Emily looked over at the counter. "Logan." "Listen to me, Emily," Logan commanded over the PA. "Stop trying to box him. You don't know how. You are playing his game. Play your game." "My game?" Emily dodged another punch, clumsily ducking under a haymaker. "My game is scanning barcodes and organizing shelves." "Exactly," Logan said. "He is in your store. Use the inventory. Initiate retail defense protocol." Tyler lunged for a takedown. "Now! Deploy countermeasures," Logan yelled. Emily didn't know a sprawl defense, but she knew where the janitorial supplies were. She kicked a bucket of mop water that was sitting near the cleanup site of the Red Coyote battle. The bucket slid across the floor. Tyler stepped right into the puddle of soapy water. Slip. Tyler's expensive wrestling shoes lost traction. He did a cartoonish split, his groin hitting the floor with a sound that made every man in the room wince. "Oh," the camera crew groaned in unison. "Take the advantage," Logan shouted. "Use the environment." Aisle 4, condiments. Emily grabbed a squeeze bottle of industrial-sized mustard from a broken shelf. She squeezed it with both hands, utilizing Logan's grip strength. A jet of yellow mustard shot across the room like a laser beam, hitting Tyler directly in his eyes. "My eyes!" Tyler screamed, clawing at his face. "It burns!" "Is this spicy mustard?" "It's Dijon," Emily yelled. "It has a kick." Tyler flailed blindly, swinging wild punches. "Reposition," Logan ordered. "He is disoriented. Flank him." Aisle 2, dry goods. Emily ran to the next aisle. Tyler wiped the mustard from his eyes and charged after her, roaring in rage. He turned the corner and ran face first into a wall of toilet paper. Emily had quickly stacked a fortress of Charmin Ultra Soft rolls. Tyler punched through the toilet paper wall, sending rolls flying everywhere like white confetti. "Stop playing games," Tyler screamed. He caught Emily by the tactical vest and threw her into the frozen pizza freezer. Crash. The glass door shattered. Emily lay on a bed of pepperoni pizzas. Tyler picked up a metal shopping basket. "I'm going to end this." Tyler loomed over Emily. He didn't swing the basket immediately. He leaned in close so the microphone on his lapel could pick up his voice for the stream. "You know," Tyler whispered, a manic glint in his mustard-stained eyes. "I didn't just want the machine for luck. I wanted you." Emily blinked, holding a frozen pizza like a shield. "Me? I'm not your type. I'm a cat person." "Not you, idiot," Tyler sneered. "Him. The body." He poked Emily's massive chest. "I'm 22, but my knees are shot," Tyler confessed, his voice low and bitter. "I've been fighting since I was 6. My cartilage is gone. My rotator cuffs are shredded. I have maybe 2 years left before I'm in a wheelchair." He gestured to Logan's body. "But Logan Mercer? Iron jaw? He's a genetic freak. Dense bones. Perfect recovery rate. A tank that never breaks down. I don't want to beat Logan. I want to become Logan." Emily gasped. "You want a body swap? Permanently?" "Bingo," Tyler grinned. "I hired the Red Coyotes to weaken you. I bought the store to get the machine. I'm going to knock you unconscious, drag you to the quantum fortune, and hit the switch. I'll wake up as the heavyweight champion of the world, and Logan Mercer will wake up as a washed-up kid with bad knees." That's identity theft," Emily yelled. "And it's super creepy." "It's business." Tyler raised the metal basket high. "Good night, Emily." Just as Tyler swung the metal basket down, something changed in Emily's eyes. She looked at the frozen pizza in her hand. She looked at her massive arm. She remembered what Logan had said earlier. "You are bulletproof." She didn't flinch. She didn't close her eyes. She raised her left forearm. Clang. The metal basket hit Logan's forearm. The basket bent. The arm didn't move. Tyler stared at the bent basket. "What?" Emily slowly stood up from the freezer, pizza slices falling off her shoulders. She looked at her arm. There wasn't even a bruise. "You know," Emily said, her voice dropping into that deep, resonant rumble naturally. "I used to be afraid of everything. Spiders. Loud noises. Expiration dates." She stepped out of the freezer, glass crunching under her boots. "But right now? In this body?" She cracked her neck. "I don't feel a thing." Tyler backed up. "Stay back." He threw a punch. A solid right cross to Emily's jaw. Bam. Emily's head turned slightly with the impact. She turned it back. She glared at him. "Was that supposed to hurt?" Emily asked. She had unlocked cheat mode. The physiological durability of Logan Mercer combined with the adrenaline of a terrified retail worker who had simply had enough. "Deputy Miller," Emily shouted. "Toss me a weapon." Miller, still pinned but with one hand free, slid a heavy object across the floor. It was a fire extinguisher. Emily caught it. "No!" Tyler yelled. "Yes!" Emily yelled. She didn't spray it. She held it like a battering ram. The action. Fast and furious in aisle 5. The fight exploded into chaos. Emily charged. Tyler dodged, using his speed. He ran up the shelves, literally running up a display of soda bottles, and backflipped over Emily. "Parkour!" Tyler shouted for the cameras. He landed behind her and tried to choke her out. He jumped on her back, locking in a rear naked choke. "Go to sleep." Tyler grunted, squeezing. Emily choked. "Ack. Can't breathe." "Shake him off." Logan yelled over the PA, like a dog with a flea. "Back into the shelves." Emily ran backward, slamming her back and Tyler into the metal shelving unit containing canned dog food. Bam. 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 Cans of beefy chunks rained down on them. Tyler held on. "He's like a tick," Emily yelled. She saw the slushy machine across the room. "I have an idea." Emily sprinted. She carried the 180-pound man on her back, running full speed toward the counter. "What are you doing?" Tyler screamed. Emily grabbed the edge of the counter and vaulted over it. Free slushies for everyone. She spun around and slammed Tyler's back directly into the blue raspberry dispenser lever. Whoosh! Freezing cold, neon blue syrup blasted out at high pressure, soaking the back of Tyler's neck and going down his fight shorts. Brain freeze. Butt on my back. Tyler shrieked, releasing the choke. He dropped to the floor, shivering and blue. Tyler scrambled up, blue syrup dripping from his hair. He looked pathetic, but he was desperate. He pulled a knife from his boot. That's it. Tyler roared. No more games. I'm cutting you. The cameraman gasped. This was going too far even for a live stream. Emily. Logan's voice cracked over the speaker. Finish him. He has a weapon. Use the ultimate technique. I don't know any techniques. Emily panicked. You do, Logan said. You watched me. The Superman punch. But, improvise. Emily looked at Tyler. She looked at the distance between them. It was about 20 feet. She looked at the checkout conveyor belt. Okay, Emily whispered. Physics. Mass times acceleration. She ran. She didn't run at Tyler. She ran at the checkout counter. She jumped onto the moving conveyor belt. She ran with the belt, gaining speed like she was on a treadmill launching pad. Superman. At the end of the counter, she launched herself into the air. It wasn't graceful. It looked like a flying refrigerator. But it was majestic. In midair, she didn't just throw a punch. She grabbed a 2-liter bottle of Diet Cola floating in the air, thrown by Roxy from behind the slushy machine, a perfect assist. Punch! Emily flew through the air, fist clenched around the soda bottle. Tyler looked up. He saw a blue-stained giant flying at him, blocking out the lights. Crack boom. Emily slammed the soda bottle into Tyler's face while simultaneously hitting him with the weight of her entire body. The bottle exploded. Foam sprayed everywhere. Tyler's feet left the ground. He flew backward through the air, crashing through the new arrival's DVD stand, shattering a cardboard cutout of a superhero, and finally landing in the bin of discounted flip-flops. He didn't move. The aftermath. Silence fell over the store. The drone hovered closer, buzzing loudly. Emily landed on her knees, panting. She stood up slowly. She raised her arms in victory. That, she wheezed, is for trying to steal my tips. The livestream comments were scrolling so fast they were a blur. User 123, OMG Logan Mercer is a god. User 456, did he just knock him out with Diet Cola? User 789, I'm buying a membership to this store immediately. The window of opportunity. Cut the feed. Tyler's lawyer screamed, trying to cover the camera lens. Deputy Miller finally broke free from the cameraman, tackling them. Police. You're all under arrest for, creating a public nuisance and wasting food. Roxy jumped out from behind the slushy machine. She checked her laptop. The energy spike from the fight. Roxy yelled. The kinetic impact combined with the emotional surge. The quantum core is glowing gold. Logan, in Emily, limped out from behind the counter. He looked terrible. His nose was bleeding, his ribs were broken, and he was covered in flour. Is it time? Logan asked. Yes. Roxy pointed to the charred machine. We have a 60-second window before the particles settle. If you don't swap back now, you're stuck forever. Logan looked at Emily. Emily looked at Logan. I'm going to miss being tall, Emily admitted, looking at her hands. And being able to open jars. I'm going to miss. Logan paused. He looked at the chaos. I'm not going to miss anything. Give me my body back. They ran to the machine. Tyler Dawson groaned from the flip-flop bin. He tried to crawl toward them. No, the machine, mine. Pickles the cat, who had been sleeping on top of the refrigerator the entire time, opened one eye. He saw the crawling villain. Pickles hopped down. He walked over to Tyler's hand. Chomp. Pickles bit Tyler's finger. Youch. Tyler passed out again. Good kitty, Emily said. Logan and Emily stood before the Quantum Fortune 3000. The core was humming with a golden light that felt warm, like sunlight. Ready? Roxy asked. On the count of 3. You have to touch the spin button simultaneously. 1, Logan counted. 2, Emily said. They looked at each other. A moment of understanding passed between them. The cold, lonely fighter and the chaotic, warm-hearted clerk. They had walked a mile and fought a war in each other's shoes. 3. They slammed their hands onto the button. ZZZRRP Krakum. The golden light exploded. It wasn't violent like the first time. It was harmonious. It felt like a musical chord striking in the center of their brains. The world spun. Gravity shifted. Logan felt the weight return. The density. The aches in his knees. The power in his shoulders. Emily felt the lightness. The softness. The smell of her own strawberry shampoo. The light faded. The check. A massive figure stood by the machine. He blinked. He looked at his hands. They were huge. Scarred. Familiar. Voice check, the figure said. The voice was a deep, tectonic rumble. Testing. 1, 2. I am Batman. Logan Mercer smiled. A real smile. Across from him, a small girl in a torn polo shirt collapsed onto the floor. She sat up, checking her nose. Am I me? She squeaked. She touched her face. I'm me. I'm tiny. And everything hurts. We did it, Logan said. He reached down and offered his hand. Emily looked at the giant hand. She took it. Logan pulled her up effortlessly. Thank you, Logan said sincerely. For protecting the chassis. Thank you, Emily grinned, for fixing my posture. I stood up so straight during that fight. Suddenly, the shattered front doors were kicked open. Mr. Grayson stood there. He was wearing pajamas and holding a golf club. He looked at the destroyed store. The soda on the ceiling. The broken freezer. The unconscious mercenaries. The blue Tyler Dawson in the flip-flop bin. What? Grayson screamed, his voice cracking. Have you done to my inventory? The silence in Grayson's 24/7 mart was broken only by the dripping of blue raspberry slushy syrup from the ceiling and the heavy breathing of the survivors. Mr. Grayson, clad in plaid pajamas and wielding a 9-iron golf club, stood amidst the ruins of his life's work. He looked at the overturned shelves. He looked at the pile of unconscious mercenaries buried under canned beans. He looked at the hole in the wall where the Quantum Fortune 3000 used to be pristine, now a charred, smoking wreck. His left eye began to twitch violently. Grayson whispered, his voice trembling like a violin string about to snap. My inventory. My shelving units. My expiration dates. He turned his gaze to Logan Mercer. Logan stood tall in his own body. He felt the familiar ache in his joints, the heaviness of his muscle density, and the sharp, stinging pain of 3 broken ribs, courtesy of Emily's earlier battle. He took a deep breath. It felt good to breathe air at a normal elevation, rather than from 5 feet down. Mr. Grayson, Logan rumbled. His voice was back to its deep, baritone glory. It commanded respect. It stopped traffic. You. Grayson pointed the golf club at Logan's chest. You are responsible for this. I don't care if you're the heavyweight champion of the galaxy. You ruined my store. Who is going to pay for the wasted condiments? The mustard alone is a financial tragedy. Emily Hart, sitting on the floor and hugging her knees, looked up. She felt tiny again. Fragile. The world seemed so big and Logan seemed like a skyscraper. She winced. Her nose hurt. Her ego hurt. Mr. Grayson, it's not his fault, Emily squeaked. She coughed, trying to find her voice. We were attacked. By ninjas. Well, coyote ninjas. I don't care about nature documentaries. Grayson shrieked. I care about my profit margins. Logan reached into the pocket of his torn tactical pants. He realized his wallet was still in the penthouse. He looked at Deputy Miller, who was busy handcuffing a groaning mercenary. Miller, Logan said. Do you have a pen? Miller tossed him a pen. Logan picked up a blank receipt paper from the floor, one of the few things not destroyed. He wrote a number on the back of the paper. He handed it to Grayson. This is my private number, Logan said calmly. And this. He wrote a figure with 6 zeros next to it. Is the amount I will transfer to your account tomorrow morning. To cover damages. And emotional distress. Grayson looked at the number. He squinted. Then his eyes widened. His mustache quivered. Is this real? Grayson gasped. This is enough to buy a franchise. I could open Grayson's Supermart. I could sell sushi. There is one condition. Logan leaned down, his shadow engulfing the small man. Anything. Grayson drooled. I'll name my firstborn after you. I'll name the sushi after you. The Logan roll. You will give Emily a raise, Logan said, pointing to the girl on the floor. A significant one. Or I will buy this building and evict you. Grayson looked at Emily. He smiled, a terrifying, greedy smile. Emily. Employee of the month. Nay, employee of the century. Consider it done. The police reinforcements arrived in swarms. Ambulances, SWAT teams, and news vans clogged the parking lot. Tyler Dawson was hauled out of the store on a stretcher. He was a pathetic sight. Covered from head to toe in sticky blue syrup, smelling of artificial raspberry and defeat, he looked less like a UFC fighter and more like a rejected Smith villain. As the paramedics wheeled him past the gathered press, Tyler tried to salvage his dignity. He lifted his head, syrup dripping from his nose. This isn't over. Tyler screamed at the cameras. It was a setup. He used illegal condiments. He hit me with a soft drink. That's a foreign object. A reporter from Face Punch News shoved a microphone in his face. Tyler, is it true you were defeated by a cashier using a frozen turkey? How will this affect your ranking? It was a free-range turkey. Tyler yelled as he was shoved into the ambulance. The bone density was higher. I demand a rematch. In a kitchen. Anywhere. Next came the heroes. Logan and Emily walked out together. The flashbulbs were blinding. The crowd roared. Logan stopped. He looked at the sea of microphones. Usually, he would pull his hoodie up, ignore them, and get into his car. Silence was his brand. But he looked down at Emily. She was shivering, wrapped in a foil emergency blanket, looking overwhelmed. Logan put a massive hand on her shoulder. Cameras, Logan announced. His voice cut through the noise. The reporters fell silent. You want a story? Logan asked. Here is the story. Tonight, I did not save this store. She did. He pointed at Emily. Emily Hart, Logan continued. She has the heart of a lion. She fought off armed mercenaries. She defended this community. And she makes a terrible hot dog, but she throws an excellent punch. Emily blushed crimson. I just threw a bottle, she mumbled. She is the true champion, Logan declared. And anyone who disrespects her answers to me. The crowd went wild. The narrative was set. The beauty and the beast. The cashier and the champ. The gym was different. It still smelled of sweat and leather, but something had changed in the atmosphere. The oppressive silence was gone. In its place was upbeat pop music playing softly over the speakers. There was a new juice bar in the corner that served smoothies that actually tasted good, not just blended kale and sadness. Logan Mercer was hitting the heavy bag. Thud. Thud. Smash. He stopped. He wiped sweat from his brow. His ribs were taped up, but he was moving well. Shoulders higher, a voice yelled from the sidelines. Logan turned. Sitting in a high director's chair, wearing a headset and holding a clipboard, was Emily Hart. She wasn't wearing a polyester uniform. She was wearing a sleek Mercer team tracksuit. Her title, printed on the back of the chair, read, Director of Mental Resilience and Vibe Management. My shoulders are fine, Logan grumbled, though there was no heat in it. Your shoulders are tense, Emily corrected, consulting her notes. You're thinking about the stock market. Stop it. Think about puppies. Or marshmallows. I cannot fight thinking about marshmallows, Logan argued. Marshmallows are soft. I need to be hard. Soft is resilient, Emily countered. If you punch a marshmallow, it bounces back. If you punch a rock, your hand breaks. Be the marshmallow, Logan. Logan stared at her. He looked at Clara, who was standing nearby drinking a latte, with oat milk. Is she serious? Logan asked. Her methods are unorthodox, Clara admitted. But your cortisol levels are down 40%. And the fan engagement on social media is up 300% since she took over the Twitter account and started posting cat memes. Logan sighed. Fine. I will be the marshmallow. He went back to the bag. He hit it with a fluid, relaxed motion. It felt better. Faster. The confession. Logan finished his set and walked to the water bench. As he reached for his bottle, a shadow blocked his path. It was Zoe the Viper Vance. She looked nervous. She was wrapping and unwrapping her hand tape. Hey, champ, Zoe said. Zoe, Logan nodded. Good sparring today. Your footwork is improving. Zoe looked at him. She stepped closer. So, she started, looking at the floor. Last week. When you were, not yourself. You mean when I was possessed by a retail worker, Logan clarified. Yeah, Zoe smiled. You were weird. You were clumsy. You giggled. You asked me about my skincare routine. Logan groaned, covering his face with his hands. Please, do not remind me. I have never been so humiliated. I liked it, Zoe said. Logan froze. He peered through his fingers. What? I liked it, Zoe repeated, stepping into his personal space. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respect the iron jaw. But it was nice to see that you could be soft. That you could be human. She looked up at him. Her eyes were fierce. I think. Zoe hesitated. Then she did the most MMA thing possible. She punched him. A light, playful jab to the center of his chest. I think you should take me to dinner, Zoe stated. Something with carbs. And if you say no, I'll put you in a heel hook. Logan looked at her. He felt a strange sensation in his chest. It wasn't a heart arrhythmia. It wasn't indigestion. He smiled. A real, crooked smile. I know a place, Logan said. They have excellent nachos. But we have to bring a coupon. Zoe laughed. It's a date. From the director's chair, Emily gave a silent thumbs up. Matchmaker level, expert, she whispered. Tyler Dawson sat in a holding cell. The blue dye had mostly faded, leaving him looking like he had a mild case of hypothermia. His lawyer sat across from him. The judge is offering a plea deal, the lawyer said. Community service. Anger management. And you have to publicly apologize to the turkey industry. Tyler stared at the wall. He wasn't listening. He was scratching equations into the metal table with a plastic spoon. They think they won, Tyler muttered. They think the machine is dead. Tyler, please, the lawyer sighed. Focus on the plea. The core. Tyler whispered, his eyes manic. I felt it. When I touched the machine, it didn't just swap bodies. It showed me things. Other timelines. Other worlds. He looked up at the lawyer. The quantum fortune wasn't a prototype, Tyler grinned, showing his blinding white teeth. It was a receiver. And I know who is sending the signal. Who? The lawyer asked, confused. The syndicate, Tyler whispered. And they're coming for their tech. Logan Mercer thinks he's the champion? He's just the gatekeeper. And I'm going to be the one who opens the gate. Tyler laughed. It was a cold, calculated sound that echoed down the prison block. The store had been rebuilt. It was bigger, brighter, and cleaner. The Logan Mercer Slushy Station was the centerpiece, featuring flavors like Knockout Punch, Fruit Punch, and Submission Hold, Sour Apple. Dr. Roxy Vale was in the corner, packing up her equipment. The charred remains of the Quantum Fortune 3000 were being loaded onto a dolly. Careful. Roxy directed the movers. That casing still contains residual quantum dust. If you drop it, you might turn into a hamster. The movers looked terrified and walked slower. Emily stood by the counter, petting Pickles. Pickles was wearing a tiny tuxedo collar because he was now the official store mascot. Well, Pickles, Emily sighed happily. No more shifts for us. Just consulting and vibes. Life is good. Meow, Pickles agreed, eyeing a floating dust mote. Logan walked in. He was wearing a suit, no tie, and looking incredibly sharp. He was holding a box of donuts. Celebrating? Emily asked. Celebrating, Logan nodded. Grayson just told me the sales figures. Apparently, people love buying gum from a war zone. It adds character, Emily laughed. Roxy wheeled the machine past them. All right, folks. I'm taking this to Area 51. I mean, my secure garage. No more swapping. No more chaos. Good riddance, Logan said. Bye-bye, nightmare box, Emily waved. Suddenly, the automatic door chime malfunctioned. Ding-dong KRRT. The lights flickered. The charred machine on the dolly emitted a low hum. Pickles the cat's ears perked up. He stared at the machine. The glowing red button, which was supposed to be dead, flickered with a faint, ghostly blue light. Pickles, no, Emily warned. Cats do not listen to warnings. Cats listen to the intrusive thoughts. Pickles leaped from the counter. He soared through the air with the grace of a predator. He landed directly on the dolly. Get the cat, Roxy yelled. Logan lunged forward. Pickles, disengage. Emily ran. Don't touch it. Pickles looked at them. He gave them that slow, judging blink that only cats can give. He raised a paw. He placed it gently on the exposed circuitry of the core. ZZZRRP. The air crackled. A shockwave of energy blasted through the store. Time seemed to freeze. Logan, Emily, Roxy, and Deputy Miller, who had just walked in to buy a donut, were all caught in the blast radius. The light was blinding, the dust settled. Logan Mercer stood blinking. He looked down. He was wearing a tuxedo collar. He had paws. He had a tail. Meow? Logan asked. His voice was a deep, confused rumble. Wait. Why do I crave tuna? He looked across the room. Standing there was Pickles the cat. But Pickles was standing on two legs. Pickles was 6'4", muscular, and wearing Logan's suit. Pickles, in Logan's body, looked at his hands. He flexed Logan's biceps. Finally, Pickles spoke. The voice was Logan's, but the tone was pure feline arrogance. I have thumbs. I can open the cans myself. Emily, who was now somehow inside Deputy Miller's body, screamed. No, not again. Deputy Miller, inside Roxy's body, fainted. Roxy, inside Emily's body, started typing on an invisible keyboard in the air. Fascinating. A multi-species entanglement. Pickles/Logan looked at the group. He smoothed back his hair. Now, the Catman announced. Kneel before your new god. And bring me the laser pointer.